Hello Diary, this is my review of the Smart Hash 3 electric car. Now we've been looking to buy an electric car for some while, and this is the latest car in our testing. Is it going to be good enough? This is the Brabus version, so there's in the Smart range there's the Hash 1, the Hash 3 and soon to be Hash 5. Now the first thing you should know is that the Hash 1 and the Hash 3 are actually almost the same size. We ideally in our family would like a low two-seater electric sports car with a hatchback, something like an electric Audi TT. So I'm going to reference this car against that ideal. The Smart range has got the Hash 1, Hash 3, Hash 5. The Hash 5 is coming soon and looks a little bit like a small Range Rover. The Hash 1 is 4.3 meters long. This is 4.4 meters long. But really the Hash 1 and Hash 3 are about the same size. In fact, the Hash 3, which we're looking at here, is actually lower to the ground and 10 centimeters longer and lower ground clearance as well, and about the same width. So really, since this looks nicer, I think you'd be a bit crackers to buy a Hash 1 unless there be some price reason. Interior space, so we're going to look at this. It's obviously a 4-door plus hatchback car with full 4 seats. Let's go and open the doors. Start with the back first. 2 seats. We had no trouble squeezing in here, but we are not tall people. It's obviously a flattish load area, a little bit of a carpet bump there, but not much. It's not a transmission tunnel. The seats obviously fold down. This is a seat belt tensioner with this strap, so when you pull it now, this is gonna come down like that. Now the seats don't seem to fold flat, and it's pretty annoying that these bolsters don't come out. But I did look in the manual and it claims that by pressing, there's a hole, it claims that there's a hole in one of the points here and you can get all the bolsters out. So if you only kind of use it as an occasional 4-seater, you could take these 3 bolsters out and that would make the rear visibility a lot better. Anyway, we're talking about space. Let's look at the tailgate now. You can open the tailgate up with a secret button here. Let's press that. And you see it's a pretty decent space here. There is a pocket for charging cables there. The light isn't very effective. We've had this car for over 7 days, so you're going to get a good decent all-round review, not the journalist I just got it for 3 hours review. This blind does come off obviously, and let's just fold the seat down. Again, the seatbelt's being held by this contraption, so if you pull it down, it doesn't snag. And we think that it would pass our family's 2 bicycle tests, so that I reckon you could get 2 road bicycles in this space without a problem. You might have to take one of the wheels off each bike, but I reckon you can get 2 full-size road bikes in. We're not able to test that here, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be possible. It does have a frunk of sorts. You've got to come to the front here. I think you've got to pull this thing twice as some sort of safety measure. Have I done it twice? Be prepared to be underwhelmed by the size of the space. Okay, so here's the, we zoom out. There we go. There's the size of my hand. It's pretty small. You wouldn't get the charging cable in there. Guess that's why it's in the boot. There's the water fluid is there. So by the way, I think I've said that this car is about 2 meters wide when the mirrors are extended. It's 4.4 long. So it's not a huge car, but it's not small. Moving on to the interior, it is a pretty pleasant place to be. So, Smart's a sub-brand of Mercedes. You've got a screen at the centre there, a second driver screen there. I think the Smash hashtag 5 is going to have 2 huge screens. We've got one. And you've got pockets. We've got wireless charging here. You've got 2 USB-C sockets here, one of which can attach to Apple CarPlay. Full electric seats. The rear seats are not in any way electric. These seats have got heating and aeration, and the back seats are nothing special. In the Brabus range, the seats look like this. I guess these are the nicest seats. They've got these kind of weird metal studs everywhere. I'm not quite sure why. It's a bit annoying really, but I guess that's the Brabus styling. Oh, I forgot to mention, there's the glass roof. Oh, and by the way, if you go to this UK configurator at least, there's absolutely no configurations options on this car, just the colour. Can't change the wheels. I mean, even less options than on a Tesla. How about that? Okay, this will be a talk about the entertainment system, the computer system, and the electronics that power and give you pleasure, or in this case, a fair amount of pain. So my partner and I have been evaluating this car for over 7 days now, and we are actually going to write Smart a letter, if only to advertise our services, possibly for free, to consult to how they could easily make things better in this car. Where shall I start? Okay, so when you get in the car, I've set it so that the seats automatically move backward on the way out and forward on the way in. So it comes to the position that you've set it to. You can set up users for the car, and you might think that each user will get its own customized settings. However, I think that when I turn off all these smart assists, when I get back in the car, they all switch themselves back on again, which is really frustrating. Let's look at this little driver screen here. That there's a driver screen there. There's a heads-up display in front of your eyes. There's the heads-up display gizmo. The major criticism about the whole of the electronic setup is that it's not configurable. It's not really configurable. You can't change what panels you see where here. You can't change what panels you see here. And there's a limited, I don't think you can't actually say what items are displayed on the heads-up display here. You can move the heads-up display up and down and left and right, but you can't choose. And the lack of choice is everywhere. Anyway, let's tell you what they give you. On this display here, you can get the range in the bottom left, you get the speed, you get what's playing, and you get some information about the directions. On the heads-up display, you can get the heads-up display of directions. And if you're attached to Apple CarPlay, we found that Apple CarPlay shows the directions on the heads-up display, which is important because it's got its built-in navigation system here, and you can use that to search for something. And I've got some different favorites put in here, and you can search using the built-in navigation system, and that's got its own internet connection and SIM. I know that's obvious these days. So there's the top line. You've got the Brabus logo. You've got those 4 buttons for the apps. You've got the navigation. You've got music. You've got the cameras, and come out of that. And you've got a phone connect. Okay. So in terms of apps, these are the apps that you can see: navigation, media, energy settings, settings of the whole car, connecting your phone, SMS messages, apps from the App Store. There's not very many. Parking assistant, camera, automatic parking, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. Again, lack of design. My Apple CarPlay from this phone that I'm holding shooting this video does not work. My partner works. can't get mine to work at all. Rebooted everything. We're IT people. It just says, oh, it doesn't work. Is there a log we can see? Well, I don't think so. Some basic things I would say are not very well engineered. Again, we're going to write to Smart with a laundry list of improvements that they could use to improve their product. Okay, so let's talk about cameras. I read the manual. There are, I think, 6 ultrasonic sensors at the front, 6 at the back. 2 cameras, 1 on each mirror. There's a camera at the front on the number plate and a camera on the back. So there's a lot of cameras and a lot of sensors. You can press this button here and you've got 360-degree camera. You can see as you turn, well, as you would turn the steering wheel, you'd get, the lines would change. I'm just parked up making the video, but it is quite a detailed camera. You can tell it to dip the mirrors when you reverse. When you go into reverse, the cameras automatically switch on. They don't switch on in any other way. There are blind spot cameras, so there's a safety feature so that if traffic is passing you on the left or the right, you can get it to flash a light on the heads-up display and or make a sound. Automatic parking. So there's an automatic parking assistant here. Oh, okay, I've got to put them to driving. Let's try that, shall we? There is an automatic parking assistant. If I press this button, you'll find that it can try and find a parking spot. Now, if you are looking for a parking space, you've got the choice of a diagonal space, perpendicular space to the road, or parallel to the road. And the idea is that you pick one of these and then you select it and go into it. And there's a P here, a blob, that you sort of move into the space that you want. Now I've not been able to get this working. I have tested that it works very gingerly in a car park, and it did work. So I was able to park perpendicular and parallel, and it did work, but it wasn't obvious. So there's the P. You see I'm dragging that P over there. Okay, it doesn't like it because it's not quite at the right angle, but it does kind of work. So car parking does work. I haven't tested it thoroughly, but at least it is there. Okay, we're going to focus on the actual main screen on this Smart #3 Brabus. You press the B key up there, you get to the main menu that you would see some of the time when you're not navigating. It seems you can put certain widgets on the front screen, like this energy, and you can put the music. And at the bottom here, you've got a few used controls, oft-used controls. You've also got some physical buttons at the bottom. I'll just go through those. You've got the fan. You've got the windscreen, front windscreen. You've got the hazard warning lights. You've got the rear heating. You've got the driving mode, which is between Eco, Comfort, Sport, Brabus. Since there's a Brabus, you get that Brabus mode. And you can have settings of the car. There's a certain amount of duplication. For example, this menu here allows you to set things like the regenerative braking, but that's also appears on other screens. You can also have this one foot driving. Auto hold means you press the brake and the car will stop. And you've got rear fog lights and hill descent. If you go to this button here, you get this button here, this 4 squares, you get the app screen, and you'll see you've got the navigation, you've got music player, which is also available at the top here. You've got the parking assistant and camera, which is also available at the top here, and you've got link to PC, sorry, link to phone. I've got Apple CarPlay. It did not work on my phone. It only works on my partner's phone. Nothing I can do will get it to work. There's no search function here, so if you're trying to search for something, good luck. You just you've got to remember where it is in the menus, or just go through all the menus. And it's taken us a week, and we're still not quite there. The bottom, like got said, these quick buttons here. That button will go to the car menu. I'll just go through some of these things. Ambient lighting, how it looks on the inside. Lighting will be the interior lights, the welcome lights, let's just see interior lights, for example. You can't see that, but some interior lights have come on above my head. There's general, which allows you to change the music and so forth. This one's got Beats audio with a B. I think the new one's got some other system. The #5's got something else. Driving assistance. Okay, this is where we start getting into the annoyance category. So this car comes with a whole load of safety systems which I'm unable to switch off except by coming into the car and every time switching them off, which is an utter pain in the ass. I have read the manual and they are quite sophisticated systems. I can see why they're there. I would like the ability to switch them off. I thought by creating a profile I'd be able to switch them off, but I don't think that's always true. So we've got these are safety systems, not assistance systems. So we've got door opening warning. And again, sometimes these systems are greyed out. It's almost like you can change them somewhere else, but not here. Don't know why that is. You've got lane assistance, emergency lane assistance, parking brake. It could be because we don't have drive selected. Let's just try and select drive and see if that makes it. Yeah, okay. So they're only selectable when the car's in drive mode. I'll put it back into park. And okay, well now I can still set them. Yes, not particularly convincing. Vehicle settings. Let's just go through these menus so you can all see them. Assistance. Okay, so we've got blind spot assistance, which is a flashing light on the heads-up display. You've got lane change assist, which what is that doing? You've got automatic speed assessment, which changes the speed based on the signs that it reads. Now in Switzerland here, it doesn't understand that some signs say, for example, 80 kilometers an hour, but only with a timeline underneath it. And so so for example, there's a speed limit saying 30, but only at certain times of the day, and when it's not 30, it's 50. So if I'm driving at 40 on the time when it's perfectly valid, I get all these beep, 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 beep things, and it's very, very frustrating. Yeah, so again, I wanted to switch these things off, but they keep switching themselves on. Speed limit, right, vehicle settings. Okay, so there's a driver monitoring system which you have to, if you switch it off, it switches itself back on. Steering wheel recentering, which recenters the steering wheel under certain situations when you're getting in and out of the car. Rocket launch when you're in Brabus mode, means that you can do like a super fast standing start, which you really don't need. This car does a 0 to 60 miles an hour in less than 4 seconds. It is an absolute rocket ship. And ESC stability control, you can turn it off, but again, it switches itself on under most circumstances. Okay, vehicle control. You can say when you find the car, is it going to flash the lights or use the horn? Easy entry is when you can move the seat backwards and forwards based on opening the door, and closing the driver's door, will that bring the seat into the regular position, or do you press the brake pedal? Do you want to lock the car and automatically close the windows and fold the mirrors? Do you want to dip the driver's door mirror when reversing? There's a proximity lock, which means to say with the blipper, the cars will automatically open and close as you approach or walk away from the car, which is very handy. You can change keyless entry to be all doors or just the driver's side. You can have a lock sound. There's a good set of facilities here, but none of them are available from the app. It's a really big mistake. Vehicle condition, you can see the tyre pressures, you can see the number plate. What else? Oh, and also we picked up this car, it was brand new. It had 700 and something days at service, so it's almost 2 years between services. Pretty impressive. Okay, that completes the moan about the heads-up display and the driver setup screen. It's a pretty decent system. I'm being very picky about it. But it's honestly frustrating to me. They could have made it so much better by just twiddling a few things. I will be writing to you, Mr. Smart, with my, not exactly list of complaints, but list of why didn't you do this? It's good, but it could be so much better. Particularly, by the way, one thing I haven't mentioned is that this bottom line of physical buttons or touch sensitive buttons are very easy to touch. And when my partner was trying to manipulate the screen, she's often trying to do it when I was saying, please could you switch on the audio, please could you do this, she often hits the hazard warning lights. So embarrassingly enough, for the last week we've been driving around hitting this button at least 2 or 3 times a day whilst driving, and it is just embarrassing. Oh, and one last thing, you've got you can connect separately your phone. You could have one person with Apple CarPlay connected to this, but you could separately have a Bluetooth connection to someone with a Bluetooth connection on the phone. So the partner could have, let's say, Apple Music or Spotify playing via their phone, and the other driver could have CarPlay connected. That's this button at the top there that gets into the menu system, and I've connected Spotify and my personal account on this car. So that's the shortcut that's always available on the top. Obviously, by the way, when you get CarPlay, and assuming it works, CarPlay takes over the whole screen. And to get out of CarPlay, you have to scroll, and then you can get back to the app screen here, and then you can get back to the Brabus screen here. Oh, by the way, we've got full range of about 411 kilometres. The Pro version, i.e. the non-Brabus car with only one motor, has got up to 450k. This is the Brabus version, and it's a bit heavier and more powerful, and it's about 410 kilometres. And we've gotten a little bit less than that, but I think if you drive it gently, you could get you 400 kilometres. Okay, we're going to talk about the steering wheel and driver cockpit. The steering wheel is lovely, Alcantara coated, and it's heated. It's beautiful. I don't know how long that's going to survive. It's a new car, so it looks fantastic, and it's heated. We've just come back from a trail run, and I have the heating on just to keep me sane. On the left, you've got a set of controls here that control the smart function. So you press it once, and you've got this smart control where the car can try and sort of drive itself. You press it and it goes into smart control. All the driver assists come on, even if you've had them switched off, and then it will try and drive the car between sort of white lines or white and orange lines or whatever the lines are in your country. And you can also specify it to go a certain speed. It will of course not get close to the car in front. It will go around corners automatically. It will not, I've found, even if you use the indicators, go into a different lane. You've got to do all that yourself, and when you do it yourself, it cancels that mode. You can also, instead of using this smart driving mode, go press the another one of the left and right buttons and go into automatic follow a car in front mode, so it follows the car in front but a certain distance, or you can just have regular speed control. On the right hand side, you have got the audio controls here, and volume up and volume down. You've also got a trip, you've also got a mute button, and you've also got this Hello Smart button.
How can I help?
Navigate to Coupe Crissier.
This is what I found.
So we're in Switzerland. I've asked it to navigate to Coupe, which is a supermarket, and it's found.
This is what I found.
It found an Amazon warehouse in England. So you can see the system needs a lot of work. So, diary, despite my hypercritical review up until now, I'm going to say that the smart #3 or #3 Brabus version that my partner and I have been using for about a week has been an extremely positive experience. I guess that may say something about the state of electric cars, in our opinion. I'm just going to go through a quick. Let me just list the positives. It's a very, very solid car. It feels very solid. Even the seats, everything just feels, rock solid. I guess that's the Mercedes underpinnings. It doesn't look like an SUV. It's not quite a sports car, but it's pretty curvy, and it's lowish to the ground. Its party trick for the Brabus is dual motor setup with a 0 to 60 miles an hour time of less than 4 seconds. It absolutely goes like what you'd expect from a car with over 400 brake horsepower, in old-fashioned language. In Brabus mode, the car is ridiculously fast. I've not done a rocket start, but it is ludicrous. There's a decent amount of technology in the car, a really huge amount of technology. Most of that, a good portion of that is excellent. So, for example, it's got this auto drive facility whereby on a motorway or on a regular road, it can just drive itself. Rather annoying. You've got to keep your hands at 10 to 2 every 30-40 seconds, was it complains. You can't keep your hands at the bottom. That's just another example of something that hasn't been thought out. Are you listening smart? Yes, we can come help you. But yeah, there's a lot of good technology. Other positive things, it's got a heated steering wheel, got heated and ventilated seats, it's got great audio with Spotify, it's got Android Auto and CarPlay. It's also got auto parking, which I got to work on parallel and perpendicular. I did not get it to work on diagonal parking. Maybe that's just I didn't have it for long enough. You can remove the bolsters out the back seats, apparently, and that way you'd get a pretty decent rear view in your mirror. And you can pretend that the car is more of a 2-seater than a 4-seater. There are quite a few niggles that I've gone through in the whole of this video. I think one of the summary niggle is you can't customise the screens or the behaviour of any of the infotainment screens or the main screens, and also the fact that the safety systems keep turning themselves on, and I have not found a way of definitively switching them off. It seems to be a bit hit and miss. Apparently, if you've got a profile, it does switch them off, but I have not found that to be the case. And some really stupid things like when you touch that panel below the screen, you can accidentally press the hazard warning button. So there's a lot of little usability things that could easily be improved. As to whether they're going to bother to do that, I really don't know, as this car's been out for over 1 year, and you might have thought that on subsequent firmware revisions, and by the way, there's no way to see what's in each revision to my knowledge, what's being improved, or how to submit a request improvement or a bug report. That should all be able to be done directly through that car's screen, since the car is internet connected. It's got its own SIM, and this general lack of configurability, I think, is a trademark of many EVs, but it doesn't need to be. So there we have it. I think it's a pretty decent car. It's actually number 1 in our list so far. Obviously, we've had to remove things like the bleep Tesla range, or any of the Teslas, for ethical reasons. I mean, who would want to buy a Tesla in the UK in 2025? I really don't know what kind of person. They wouldn't be invited to my tea party, put it that way. So this smart car is devilishly fast. It's not ugly. It's got decent performance, decent handling, and a lot of technology. So I do rather like it. Thank you very much for watching. Oh, and by the way, there's going to be a companion video to this where I talk through the specs of the car, and I'll try not to moan too much, but we'll just go through all the specs and based on my week plus of living experience, I'll tell you whether that feature is good, bad, or ugly. Thank you.